Hello, beautiful ladies. This is Katie. Yes, I've had a recent name change, and if you want to know exactly why I did that, what is going on, there's a link in my description that will tell you the full story. But basically, long story short, Katie is a name that I originally chose for myself when I first came to Australia. And I really wanted to go back to that name because I wanted to be aligned with my authentic self. And it's something, I preach a lot in my videos, so I want to make sure I'm doing what I am saying. So basically, that's why from now on I'll be referring to myself as Katie. Okay, so it's an absolutely beautiful day. I'm filming on a Monday, which is new for me. I usually film on Wednesdays, Tuesdays or Wednesdays, but today I have a lot of content to create because I am getting ready to open up registrations for you guys to have the chance to work with me one-on-one for personal coaching over a certain amount of time. Okay, we're really going to have more opportunity to work together and for me to really help you the best way I can, because I really spent a lot of time thinking about you guys, thinking about your the questions that you send me and the problems that you guys are struggling with, because it wasn't that long ago when I was exactly in your shoes. I went through the same feelings that you are probably feeling right now, and I know how hopeless you can really feel. And there was a time in my life before I met my husband where I really thought I was gonna be alone for the rest of my life. I mean, it's silly looking back now, but that's really how I felt. And I also felt like a bit of a freak because, I was in my 30s and single, never married, no kids. I was like, all my friends are married and having kids. It really made me feel like a freak. Like, is there something wrong with me? Because I am not anywhere near that at that time, right? And it really made me think of that. And, yesterday was such a beautiful day like today. And me and my husband, we just happened to have a day together out because we needed to get out of the house. And we went for a nice long walk along there's this nice promenade walk in our city right by the shoreline in Newcastle. So there was a lot of families there were kids on bikes, on skateboards, and then beside us in the water were these sailing boats that were doing races. And they were doing these figure eights right by us. And these 22 feet yachts, sailing boats, were literally at colliding distance. They were so close. I thought for sure they were going to collide, but apparently they knew what they were doing. So it was just such a beautiful day, and it was just amazing. And me and my husband we talked about our dreams and our plans in the coming months, and just being really excited about what was going on in our lives, and then we had some lunch and we just really enjoyed our day together. And as you know, for anyone who has kids, those moments become more and more rare when you have a child, right? So I really appreciated spending some time with my husband in that way, like we used to. And that things like that, it made me really feel so passionate, motivated about what I'm doing, helping women get to that place, not just to have a man, but to be, to really live a full life, right? To live a life they're passionate about, that they're joyful about, they can really love with an open heart and not be so scared. Because a lot of it is, when I was single, I wasn't even willing to admit to myself how terrified I was of love. I wanted it, but emotionally inside, I was very scared. And I want to encourage you, ladies, that you have what it takes in you. You know, I will help you and support you every step of the way. I'll show you it's absolutely possible. And on the other side of that is just blissful. It's just joy. You know, like I look at my husband and he's absolutely amazing. He is the perfect man in the whole world. So, you know, he makes me feel like the luckiest girl ever. So with that said, I want to get into today's video content, which is how to find your man of your dreams. In order to find the man of your dreams, what I've noticed is that a lot of you ladies, you have settled for a connection when you really want love. Okay, so instead of saying you want your dream relationship, you're really saying, I just want a boyfriend. I just want a connection with someone. I just want anyone. You know, I just want companionship. I just want any kind of intimacy because it's better than nothing. Okay, so what we do is we set our standards really low just to make sure we can meet them, our expectations can be met, and then we won't be disappointed. And I really want to encourage you ladies to raise your standards instead. Because when you set your bar so low, that's exactly what you're going to get. You know, and then you'd be perpetuating this story of, okay, there's no decent guys out there. I'm only able to attract guys who don't want to commit. That must mean I'm not worthy. Something's wrong with me. And you just keep proving yourself right because of that thought. That thought creates the result that confirms that thought, which makes you want to think that thought even more. And you just build more and more evidence that there are no good men. See, you know, I was right. And then you just keep perpetuating that story. And I really want to offer that you can break that cycle. You can break that cycle by thinking differently. When you think differently, you can take slightly different actions, and then you can get on the path to really having your dream relationship, having it come true. What are the steps? Okay, what exactly are the steps? That's pretty simple. Okay, there's only 5 steps. Step number 1, you must take responsibility. Stop waiting for a guy to fall on your lap. Stop waiting for a man to say first, I want you, I love you, to chase after you first, okay? We must take love into our own hands, take responsibility for our own love lives. Step number 2. It will be very difficult to find the man of your dreams if you don't know what he looks like. So a lot of you are wanting that love, wanting that dream relationship, but you really don't know what you're looking for. You're pretty fuzzy, right? Maybe a lot of you are just operating on feelings, on, okay, I'm just gonna put myself out there, maybe try a bit of this, try a bit of that, and then just see how I feel, okay? A lot of you are just going off your feelings. And I think you do need some feelings, some intuition when it comes to, you know, who to go for. But I also believe that feeling can be muddled up and confused with attraction and lust. Okay, so just because someone looks amazing, makes you feel, you know, hot and sexy, doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a good fit for you long term. They're going to be a good life partner for you. So you have to consider both. The feelings, okay, you do want to be attracted to the person, feel good around them, but you also must consider, well, what are the other qualities he should have? And there are some very key qualities I think a high quality man should have. You know, if you want a long-term, long-lasting, beautiful relationship. So step number 2 is really about getting clear on what you want and why you want it. Why probably is more important than what. Okay, so you need to be able to justify why you want a man with these traits or these personality, you know, traits, these qualities and values. Okay, you need to be able to justify it to yourself, and it doesn't really matter what you choose as long as you're happy with your own reasons. So that's going to be your compass, so you know where to go. And when you have step 2 in place, finding that man will be very quick. Okay, super quick. I found my husband in about, I think, 1 or 2 months. Because as soon as I put it into place, as soon as I knew what I wanted, and after putting the other steps into place, it happened really fast, super quick. Okay, so which leads me to step number 3. Put yourself in environments where men are, ideally where quality men are. Okay, so this, if in the real world, if your social circles consist of high quality men, decent guys who treat their partners well, if you're looking at your friends' partners and you're like, I want a guy like that, I want a guy like this guy, that's great, you're in the right circle. Then you just want to befriend them, befriend their friends, know who they know, to expand your social circle, to make sure you're meeting more of those quality guys. If, on the other hand, you are not in those circles, or you've noticed a lot of guys you see or hang out with, they tend to be low value or have, low self-esteem, then what I really recommend is to go online. This is where online dating is really handy. Okay, online dating gives you access to different pockets of people that you wouldn't normally come into contact with in your social groups, right? Because everybody tends to have their own comfort zone of who they hang out with, and we don't like to step out of that. But online is a very quick, efficient way, easy way to access other pockets of people. And actually, this is exactly how I found my husband. High quality men, even though it may not seem like it, high quality men are online and they do want relationships. Okay, you just have to know what to look for. Okay, what to put in your profiles to attract these kind of guys, and the process can be very quick as well. And okay, so once you're in those groups, okay, when you find a group of men that is mostly full of quality men, then you want to make sure you're using the 3 B's. Be seen, be social, and be proactive. So you want to make sure, kind of common sense, that you're seen, you're putting yourself in front of them, okay? And you're being proactive about making sure they can see you, they notice you, right? Don't just hang back and wait for the guy to approach you or for him to message you first. If you like something you see, I highly, highly recommend you make the first move. You approach first, you flirt first, and then watch if he will reciprocate. Because guys know very quickly what they like. So if he sees that you're interested in him and he's also interested, it's not going to take him that long to come after you, to chase you. And that's what you want. Step number 4 is to go on dates with men who are interested in you. So guys who are interested in you should already be chasing you, to be pursuing you, as long as you are enthusiastic, right, in responding to their messages, you're showing them you're interested in them back, then they should pick up the signs that they should keep messaging, keep pursuing. And then it's not that difficult to set up an in-person date or a proper date. This is where you need to make sure he's setting up the dates, and then when there's a date set, you put it directly into your calendar. And you really want to honor that calendar. You show up to the date. When you show up to the date, you don't just want to physically show up, you want to energetically show up. You want to show up as the best version of yourself, as the high value woman that you are. And also, you want to show up ready to get to know the other person, to invest in the other person, and more importantly, to show him who you are so he can invest in you. So there is a little bit of needing to be vulnerable on those dates, where you don't want to just go on dates where you're all clammed up and have your walls up. Because if you're like really rigid and tight and you have your walls up, you have your barriers up, then guys may chase you a bit, but then they're gonna feel energetically you're not that interested in them, and they will just lose interest. Okay, they'll either lose interest or they think you're not interested and then stop chasing you. So you want to make sure on those dates you really show up, you're present, you're energetically there with them, and that you're willing to be vulnerable and show them who you really are and let them into your heart. So that's really, really key with step 4. And the last step number 5, is you just want to rinse and repeat until you find the man of your dreams. And honestly, if you carry out, if you know who you want, you have a good reason for, all the things that you want, and you're putting into place the other actions, you're making yourself be seen, you're being proactive, you're being seen, you're being social, and you're willing to be vulnerable and open, then you're going to find that guy really quick. It's going to happen so fast. When I put these steps into place, like I said, I found my husband in about 1 to 2 months. And whereas before that, I was single for nearly 3 years. So it's not going to take going on hundreds of dates. If you are open, you don't need to go on hundreds of dates or waste a lot of time dating inappropriate guys or weirdos. You're gonna find them really fast, and then the fun really begins, right? So that's basically the steps. It's pretty simple, but I know some of you will have some blocks that come up, and I just want you to know, whenever you feel uncomfortable, discomfort because you have negative thoughts coming up, that is the old thinking. That's your old patterning coming in, stepping in, being like, oh, hang on, what is this? Why are you doing this new thing? Okay, I thought we were comfortable doing the old thing of settling for, unavailable men, for low quality men, for low value men. Let's go back to what we're used to, what we know. And I really want you to be aware that is normal. It's normal to feel that discomfort, to feel pulled to go back to your old ways, shall we say, and to just power through it. You don't have to listen to that old voice. You can try something different and try it long enough to see, well, will it work? If I try this, will it work? At least give yourself the opportunity to give it a shot. So that's basically my video for today. And once again, I want to remind you that I'll be opening up registrations for you to have a chance to work with me one-on-one, to do personal coaching with me. And I can't wait to help you guys on a more personal level. Stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming up in the next couple of days or couple of weeks. So stay tuned for the opportunity to do that. And that's all from me. This is Katie. If you like this video, please like me, comment below, ask me some questions, subscribe to my channel. I'm always thinking of you, always have you on my mind, and I believe in you. I believe you can do it, and you can find the love of your life and your dream relationship. I am absolutely rooting for you. So I'll talk to you real soon. Bye.